Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alive Victoria, aka Chats with V. Of course, if you're just seeing my face for the first time, you're most welcome to my space. If you've been watching my videos, what's up? How you doing? So today I just want to have a chit chat with you guys. I just feel like talking. Really, as you can see, I'm actually very tired. I'm exhausted from today's work, but I have a little bit of a free time. So I said, okay, let me just talk to my people and know how we're doing. So the other day, I came across my departmental yearbook. I was looking for a document and I stumbled on that yearbook, and I was like, this department. Oh God, this department. Hey, Jesus Christ. Okay, it's a chit chat. So by virtue of this video, if you hear your name, just answer present in the comment section. And also, I'm opportune to work in an institution right now, so that helps me reflect on how I live my life when I was in school. So this gist go hot. Just carry chair, consider, make me run up. I'll give you a rundown of how it all started. First of all, I gained admission into the University of Port Harcourt at the age of 17. So I was 17 years old when I was in year one. So getting into school at the age of 17, for me, it looked like I didn't know what I actually wanted for myself because I don't know if now, but I considered myself a little bit too young, to be in school or something, but I was still a little bit in between, like I'm now in the university, that kind of a thing. I wanted to be a nurse. If anybody had asked me, Victoria, what did you want to be in life? I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to study nursing, but unfortunately, I was denied that admission despite, having great scores during my jam. The first post-UME I wrote was quite on the high side, and when it was cancelled, the second post-UME I wrote, I also did. In fact, I smashed it. But at the end of the day, I was hoping I was going to get nursing, of which I didn't get it. Whatever made them not to give me that nursing is what I have not been able to get answers to till date. So finding myself in a department called microbiology, for me, it was already depressing that I wasn't, going to study the course of my dreams. But well, I was in school. I was considering, okay, should I defile this admission and try again next year? But I realized that, man, I was even lucky enough to gain admission, during my set. Because during my set, I was one of those lucky ones who did not have to rewrite WAEC or NECO for any reason. I had just one sitting of my WAEC. I went further to write NECO one sitting, and I smashed my paper. So I was like, why not just go ahead and go to school? Maybe sometime in life you can maybe further and be a nurse if that is what you really wanted to be. Yeah, so I had to just manage the department like that. So I went ahead to study microbiology, and when I got to the department, I realized that everybody was so serious, from the lecturers to the students. Everybody was so serious. Like I was like, what's happening here? Like, it wasn't looking like the regular things I used to see then. When you watch Nigerian movies in those days, not like what we have now. Maybe they're acting like a university setting. You see times when students go to school, you see where they have a social life, where they go on hangouts. But coming to the microbiology department, it was like, what is this? What is this? Like, I was so angry because I didn't have a social life. I didn't have a social life. Like all I did in that department was read and read and read and read my life away. The department was so stern and so rigid that, man, you can't even think about going to party. Party how? Like when you have courses to study, like how would you go to party? How would you even socialize? I don't know about other people, but that was like the most boring and uninteresting time of my life, because first person I encountered when I was in school, or when I gained admission into school, was Constance. Constance was in I don't know what department now, but she was in one of these humanities department. Constance, please correct me if you see this video. I can't recall. Well, I know you were in the arts department, so I met her when I was going about my post clearance and all that. So she was the first person I encountered when I got to the school. And after that, I met another great human being, Gracious Umbato. Yes, I met Gracious. Then she was in human physiology. I met her during medicals, and she was just an amazing person. Like that was the first friend I had in Uniport. She was a sweet person. She was such a fun person that my parents even got to know who she was because she's a kind of outgoing person. Gracious. If you're around that girl, my dear, because she had done a basic in the school, so she knew her way around the school. So I liked her a lot, and we became friends. And after that, um, when I got to my hostel, because I stayed in the hostel during my 100 level days and my 200 level days, that was where I met my friend Victoria. So Victoria was my hostel mate. I met her, so we became very, very close. I think one of the things that drew us close was the fact that we were namesakes and we lived in the same environment. So um, we just adopted ourselves as friends and sisters. So yeah, so I went all through my school days with just these few people until I got to my department and I encountered another wonderful personality and the person of Chidebere Wanko. Chidebere Wanko, that was the only friend I had in microbiology. He was the only friend I had when I was in school. Like anywhere you see Chidebere Wanko, you will see me. These were like the early days of my school, like far back year one, year two, even year three. He was the only person people even thought we were dating. Now let me correct that impression here. For those of you who thought I and Chidebere had a relationship, it's very, very far from it. We were never in that relationship space. We were just great friends who liked each other for whom we were. And Chidebere is an outgoing person. They know him in the department. So most people who knew me, imagine in the department where I graduated from, people didn't know who I was. So people who knew me through Chidebere because Chidebere was everywhere. Anywhere you see Chidebere, you must see me. So it's either I'm with Chidebere or I'm with my friend Victoria. Because what I do, I didn't have friends in my department then. So once I finish from my department, I go to meet my friend Victoria in her department because Victoria was also in human physiology, same as my friend Gracious then. So yeah, so usually I just go there, I'm just with them. My circle was so small, like it was so little. For those in my department who might stumble on this video, you will confirm it that Victoria is always with Chidebere. We come to school together most times. We leave school together most times. We go to the eatery, we read together. In fact, I and Chidebere, we lived our lives in the university side by side. I later met another great personality in the person of Tido. Yes, Tido was my seatmate when I was in school. Another great guy. Like that guy, I think we started vibing more, towards final year. Yeah, Tido, very great guy. Yeah, I like him a lot because he used to be a very funny person. He just makes me laugh. Tido doesn't need to talk to you before you laugh. You will just laugh like that. So Tido was my seatmate all through my university days. Another wonderful person I encountered was Rose. Yes, Rose is late now. May her soul rest in peace. She was another wonderful person I met when I was in school. So I started bonding with these guys towards final year. But see my year one, my year two, my year three. The only human being I knew in my department was Chidebere Wanko, alias Chiboy. I called him Chiboy. I throughout my school days, I knew him as Chiboy. That's what, even till tomorrow, he's married now with a family, he has kids and all that. But till tomorrow, Chidebere Wanko remains Chiboy. So we went ahead with that, and I later made some other friends in school. I later met my friend Faith. Faith was also in my department then. Yeah, so we became friends, and much later, towards my final year, then I encountered Ada. Yes, Adama Frank, my sweet darling. Yeah, I encountered her. Yeah, so that was how it went. Now, before all that happened, microbiology taught me a lesson, even though most of the values, being independent and all that, it has helped me through life. Honestly, despite their being rigid and the whole department being tough, I was able to pick out a few things that have helped me, run my life, ever since I left the university. It taught me integrity. The department taught me integrity. They taught me, how to, just believe in yourself, because then I don't know, but that department, malpractice was not a thing. Whatever your brain can carry, that is what you will see in your results. Yes, There was no malpractice of any kind. The way we write the exam, like I supervised an exam today and I was just shaking my head. I'm like, wow. Then you come into the exam hall with your photo card, like the department will have to confirm you. The very seat I sat on when I was in year one was the same seat I sat on till I left that university. There was never a time when I wrote an exam, having friends like, okay, we are like, we just arrange our compass. Okay, you sit here, you sit here. I never experienced that kind of a thing in my life. The very seat I sat on was the same seat I sat on until the 4 years or thereabout I spent in that school. It was just that one seat. So another person I knew in my department was my course rep Azaya and my assistant course rep Queen. Apart from these people, like I didn't get to know a lot of them. If we're 300 in my department, I don't think I knew the names of more than 10 people. I didn't socialize. And I was wondering, like, why was it so? Because it's not like I'm not a sociable person. People who knew me like growing up, my secondary school days, they know that Victoria is an activity person. But how I just came to that department and I was just struggling to get things done, get to know people. I just feel like, the what I met wasn't a picture of what I thought a university environment was. So I lived in that delusion for quite a long time until towards the end of my school year. That was when I started coming out of my shell and already um it was almost a wrap. Yeah. So what else happened when I was in school? Yeah, once, just once, I attended one of the departmental parties. Like I was like, Victoria, there's no how you will leave this school without at least attending one departmental party, which I did. It was just there. It wasn't fun for me because I wasn't friends with most of the guys. Another thing, that discouraged me from bonding with people in my department was I noticed that everybody had a clique in that department. You they just had a clique, because it was a department where people don't socialize a lot. It was all about school, reading, academics, and all that. So they had like everybody had like a clique. So if you are not in the clique of people who are maybe first class candidates and all that, they look down on some other people in the department. That is how I feel. I might be wrong too. It was as bad as sometimes you see people in your department, you recognize them, and you want to say hello to them, like, what's up? They just snub you. Like they will snub you. Maybe because I wasn't in either the clique of the brightest people in class, or I wasn't in the clique of people who maybe had some change, or I wasn't in the clique of people who maybe had a car. I wasn't in the clique of people who were married. I don't know. They just had different cliques. I'm like, wow, like this is how you guys behave here. So that one discouraged me the most. And I just decided to stay on my own. I have also learned that life doesn't end in the four walls of a school. It's good to actually connect and meet people because you don't know where you're actually going to meet them tomorrow in the future. Those people that most people look down on are the ones who are doing excellently well right now. Life is a little bit somehow, so it's always very important that you relate with people, like get to know people, there's no point carrying shoulder for anybody. Like, I see you, you see me, and we just do life together. Like somebody will ask, Victoria, do you still want to study nursing? Yes, and yes again, yes. Nursing has been the course of my dreams for quite a long time, and I believe God that if anything takes me out of Nigeria, definitely I would study nursing. So guys, this brings me to the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed my gist. I feel like there are things I didn't capture, but this video is I'm not quite prepared for this video. I was just led to give this gist, because something happened today that triggered me to give this gist. So it was nice having you. Bye for now.